So I'm looking at the practice exam, and I'm looking at question 24. It says a carpenter is building a rectangular room with a fixed perimeter. So I have a rectangular room where the total perimeter is equal to 324 feet. What dimensions would realize the maximum area? So we'll have a length times a width. So one of the things we have to do here is we're only doing functions in one variable, and this has two variables for us, length and width. So we have to take the perimeter equation and solve it for one of the variables. So since we know our total perimeter is 324 feet, we'll take 324 2L plus 2W. Well, these both have a factor of 2. So I'll factor that out. I'll divide both sides by 2. So 324 divided by 2 is 162. And I'm going to pick one of these variables that I am going to replace. And I think I'll replace, I'll solve for W. So W is equal to 162 minus L. As I subtract L from both sides, I'll get W on its own. And so we now have the width in terms of L. Well, the area of a rectangle is L times W. So wherever we see W, we can replace this in. So I have L times 162 minus L. So I will factor the L through, 162 162L minus L squared. And so my function of area as a area as a function of length is negative L squared plus 162. Well, it's going to maximize 162L at the vertex. So I will use my vertex equation to find the vertex. Now I have two options here. I can complete the square, or I can use the negative b over 2a. And I'm going to say, hey, my L value, when this is maximized, is going to be negative b over 2a, where my b is 162, and my 2a is negative 2, right? Because a is negative 1, and my b is 162. The negatives will cancel, and I get 81 feet. So my length is 81 feet. Come back and use what I have for W. 162 minus 81 was also 81 feet. And so if I maximize the area of this rectangle, my dimensions will be 81 feet by 81 feet. Or it's going to end up being a square of 81 feet. Maximization of a rectangle with nothing limiting one of the sides, like a building or anything. The area is always maximized for a fixed perimeter to a square.